there everybody, Shell Broadnax here. I did a little video post yesterday, video blog on pricing and charging what you're worth, and why it's a no-brainer if you've got what it takes and you've got a good reputation and you've got a great product and you can deliver stellar service, then you should be able to command a certain pricing range. So I want to talk today a little bit about the differences of somebody that charges a little bit more, somebody charges a little bit less, or sometimes a lot less, or underbids it just to get the jobs. And these are some of the things that can go wrong with that thought process. Number one, if you do it all the time, you're going to go out of business because you can't sustain a business that way. Number two, when you are a legitimate professional and you're charging what you are worth in exchange for the value that it is that you give, you do things differently than you do somebody that is shortchanging it all the time and lowering their bid. Every time you lower your bid on something, your price, and you come down, A, you make less profit, and B, you can't possibly be able to provide the type and the level of service that somebody can when they're paying a little bit more for many reasons. So here's just an example. This is a horseshoe, and these are clip-on shoes. They have a clip right there, and these are obviously nailed up into their hooves. Well, a farrier who did this job is somebody who is less money on the scale of farriers. And what happens is, because he has less money, he doesn't have all the equipment that somebody that charges a little bit more typically does. Definitely doesn't have the legitimate education and that type of professionalism backing him. Not that he's not professional or knowledgeable, he very well could be, and I believe that he is. But he doesn't also have the equipment that warrants when you're operating at a more professional level. So like the same thing in staging, you might have a very high-end luxury stager, or even just a very professional, middle-of-the-road average home stager, and they're operating up here, and then when you get somebody who's constantly lowering their price, their products that they're using are going to be more down here. It's just a fact the way that it works out. So at any rate, these particular shoes should not be nailed in. They can be, but when they are, this is what happens. The hoof wall of your horse's hoof falls apart, comes off when you remove this. So in reality, this type of shoe should be what's called hot shoe. So that requires a definite higher level of expertise and certainly the correct equipment to be able to do it. So the farrier that charges a little bit more money, who's got the stellar reputation, he's got the equipment, he presents himself correctly, his equipment is well taken care of when he shows up on your property, it's clean, even for a farrier. I mean, he's just very well organized, very well put together. That is somebody that's more professional. Whether you get somebody else that's coming out in the back of their pickup truck and you know, God only knows what they could look like. They could look like they wrestled in mud for all I know. But you can see where I'm going with this, the different levels of professionalism. So it's not necessarily that the guy that charged less money didn't know this. He may very well know this, but he's not able to do the job. Not able to do the job because his pricing is on the lower end. So it can't bump his professionalism up. Because when you are paying for something more, you get what you pay for. And when you pay what you pay, then the people that are receiving that can do more for you. They add more value, like I said, education, professionalism, the equipment, the product lines. So at any rate, this is just a little bit of explanation. You can really apply it to any type of business whatsoever. But I guess the clear message is here, if you are somebody who's always an underbidder and you're taking the short on your end as far as your pricing is concerned, consider what it is that you're able to give back to people, and consider, are you really in this to grow your business? Because if other people are getting those types of pricing, the higher pricing, there's no reason that you can't either, as long as you are able to deliver a great service. People are going to pay it anyway. So up your game and don't leave your horseshoes falling off. So at any rate, take care and happy staging.